Hi, I'm Erica Chesla, and this is my special topic presentation 2 for contemporary social issues. For this presentation, I decided to do attitudes and thoughts about poverty in America. I feel like poverty isn't something that people talk about unfiltered because they feel like they have to be politically correct, and so they don't really give, a lot of people don't give their genuine thoughts about it and what they think. So I wanted to set up an anonymous survey where people knew that I could see their answers, but I wouldn't know who it was or anything like that, and doesn't track any personal information. So I wanted to be able to set that up anonymously so that they felt comfortable giving their genuine answers without the fear of being judged for being politically incorrect or looking bad in the eyes of society. So the goal of my survey was to learn what American citizens' thoughts and attitudes are towards poverty in their own country. For this survey, 22 people took it between the ages of 18 and 40, and everyone that took the survey at least had a high school diploma. I shared this on social media so that people who were in my friends list would be able to take it, and most of them are adults, and I just said please be over 18 to take it. So I made sure that so that at least it was adults who are able to vote in this country who would be giving their opinions on it. Some of the questions that I asked: select what best reflects your thoughts on poverty in America. The federal government should do more to help the poor in America. The state government should do more to help the poor in America. The government already does enough to help the poor, or too much is being given to the poor in America. And I also added an other option where someone would be able to type in their answer if they did not agree with those. And then I asked, what is the role of social structures, such as schools, government, media, in causing poverty in America? They do not impact poverty. They could prevent or cause poverty. They could prevent but not cause poverty. Could cause but not prevent, or I do not have an opinion on this question. And then please select the choice that best reflects your thoughts on charity. So religious or church-based charities should do more. Secular charities should do more. Individuals should do more. Charities do enough to help. Too much is being given to the poor. And then again, I left in a write-in option for people who disagreed with those and wanted to put their opinion. And then I asked if the people taking the survey donate to charity themselves. There were a couple options: giving to a local church or religious organization, a national, international religious organization, a local, national, or international non-religious organization, donating in an alternate way, or I do not donate to charity. Then I wanted to ask a question about minimum wage, and I asked them just to pick the option that best reflects their own thoughts, stating that the minimum wage is acceptable and is able to be lived off of if the person is financially responsible. The minimum wage is unacceptable and is unable to be lived off of even if the person is financially responsible. The minimum wage should be raised so that families can live comfortably, or the minimum wage should just stay the same and individuals working should just work more hours. Next, I asked agree or disagree questions, and I gave them a scale from disagree, somewhat disagree, neutral, somewhat agree, and agree. And they were able to pick one of the 5 to state how strongly they felt about the statement, about all of these following statements. I feel that citizens are responsible for helping the poor in America. A majority, over 50% of the poor in America, are responsible for their own condition. The poor are not the responsibility of individual citizens. My religion places heavy emphasis on caring for the poor. The government perpetuates the cycle of poverty, and I am okay with my tax money going to social welfare programs. And I know those are very general questions that don't really specify anything, but again, I didn't really want to get specific. I just wanted to get a general understanding and unfiltered answers from people about poverty in general, not something specific. And then last, I asked some questions about demographics. I just didn't want to start with that. And so I asked 3 questions about demographics. How would you categorize yourself religiously? What is your approximate household income? And what is the highest level of education you have completed? So with the religious questions, I just wanted to see how people who identified as Christian or Catholic, how their thoughts on poverty differed from maybe someone who is agnostic or not affiliated in church or atheist. What is your approximate household income? I asked that because I wanted to see if people who had experienced being lower middle class or just being in poverty themselves, their thoughts on poverty would be different from people who are in the upper middle class or just wealthy enough to never have to consider using a social welfare program. And then I asked about the highest level of education that had been completed, because I think your education relates to how much you're going to look into things like this, or how much you have learned about it. Someone with a high school diploma might know less than someone who has a master's degree in social work. So I just wanted to see how that was relating to their thoughts about poverty. And now we'll just talk about some of the information that I gathered through this survey. So on the select what best reflects your thoughts on poverty in America, 50% of people said that the federal government should do more to help the poor in America, while 9% said that the state government should do more to help the poor in America. 18% said the government already does enough to help the poor in America, and 14% said that too much is being given to the poor in America. And then I had 2 people, or 9%, write in their answers. And then 2 of those one answer was, it should depend on the personal situation, if they are willing to work or not. And I see this as a reflection of, it looks like the worthy versus unworthy poor. As in, if you work and if you're trying, then you're deserving, you're worthy of financial aid, financial assistance, such as WIC or food stamps. And then the second write-in answer was both the federal and state government should do more to help the poor in America. Next, for the question, what is the role of social structures in causing poverty in America? 9% of people said that social structures do not impact poverty. 68% said that social structures could prevent or cause poverty. 9% said that social structures could prevent but not cause poverty. 0% said that social structures could cause but not prevent poverty. And then 13% of people said that they did not have an opinion on this question. For the next, please select the choice that best reflects your thoughts on charity in America. 18% of people believe that religious-based charities should do more. 27% said that secular charities should do more. 36% said that individuals should do more. And 5% said that charities do enough already. 5% said that too much is being given to the poor in America. And then again, for this one, I had write-in answers. One person said that the state and federal government should do more, which this was a question about charities, not government. So I don't know if this person feels like charities just shouldn't have to do much and then the government should just pick up everything that they're missing out on. And then the second person said that I think that all groups listed could do more. Then when I asked the question about, do you donate to charity, 23% of people said that they give to a local church or religious organization in order to help the poor. 0% said that they give to a national or international religious organization. 9% said they gave to a non-religious organization. 45% said that they donate in an alternate way, and 23% of the survey takers said that they do not donate to charity. All right, and then the question about minimum wage. 27% of people said that the minimum wage is acceptable and is able to be lived off of if the person is financially responsible, while 68% of people said that the minimum wage is unacceptable and is unable to be lived off of even if the person working is financially responsible. 32% of people believe that the minimum wage should be raised so that families can live comfortably. And then 5% of people said that the minimum wage should just stay the same and individuals can just work more hours if they want to make more money. And then the question where I gave the disagree to agree scale. This one's quite difficult to explain, and it'll just make more sense when you look at the chart. So for the I feel that citizens are responsible for helping the poor in America, 0% said disagree, 14% somewhat disagree, 41% are neutral, and 36% somewhat agree, while 9% agree with that statement. A majority of the poor in America are responsible for their own condition. Most people disagreed with that, while only 9% agreed with that statement. And then the poor are not the responsibility of individual citizens. Again, most people disagreed with that, and only 9% agreed with it. And then for my religion places heavy emphasis on caring for the poor, 23% said disagree, 5% said somewhat disagree, 18% said neutral, 18% said somewhat disagree, and then 36% said they agreed that their religion places heavy emphasis on it. Most people believe that the government perpetuates the cycle of poverty. And then again, most people, 45%, was the largest number for the last question. And they said, I somewhat agree that I am okay with my tax money going to social welfare programs. And then just to get into the demographics of who took my survey, I asked, how would you categorize yourself religiously? 41% were Protestant or Christian, 14% Catholic, 18% said that they were spiritual but not affiliated, 5% said atheist, 18% said agnostic, and I gave an other option, and that 5% of people said that they were part of another religion. I also gave other options such as Jewish and Muslim, but I just did not include those because they were both at 0%. Then I asked about household income. Most people said that they were between $30,000 and $50,000. And then the same amount of people said that they were under $15,000, with only 14% being above $100,000. And then for my last question, I asked what was the highest level of education that they have completed. 0% had no diploma, so I was happy to at least be sure that all of them had high school diplomas. 68% said that they had high school diplomas. 9% said 2-year degree, 5% said that they had a 4-year degree, and 18% said they had a graduate degree. And I think that most of the people who had taken this, although they have a high school diploma, they're in college and in the process of receiving their 4-year degree right now. So I think that they know a little more, since they do have a college, have some college education under their belt. So yes, the goal of this survey, I think I learned what I wanted to learn, just to learn about the attitudes that people have. Because I think for some questions, like, are you okay with your tax money going to social welfare programs? I think in a regular face-to-face conversation, no one is going to, well, not a lot of people are going to say, no, I don't want my money going to WIC to help women and infants. So I think when people don't have to worry about being judged and they think they know that it's an anonymous survey, I wanted them to be able to answer more honestly. And this was the information that I wanted to get. Are people really okay with their tax money going to programs such as this? Do they think that the government should do more? Do they think that people who are working for the minimum wage deserve more money, or that they should just work harder? And I definitely got the answers that I was looking for. And I think that this was a good way to find this information instead of going face to face with people, because like I said, I feel like they would worry more about, I don't want to come across as a bad person in the eyes of society. I need to be politically correct. So I got the answers that I was looking for, and I'm glad that I was able to do this and find out some more information on something that I have been curious about. So thank you, and I learned something from this.